Go.
All right, so on a rather sluggish pitch, which we first thought, actually it's far from sluggish. It's actually a pretty decent score that you have put up. I think it's not
sluggish.
Are you sure about that?
I don't think it's sluggish. I think it's a case of I think you need to get an iron.
Yeah.
Once you get an iron, there are runs on offer, as Quinton de Kock showed you, as Nicholas Pooran showed you, and as Krunal Pandya showed you.
Of course, I mean, Quinton de Kock's 54, Nicholas Pooran's 42 of 21. Okay, Quinton de Kock 54, strike rate of 142. Nicky P, as always, 200 strike rate. Krunal Pandya 195.4 strike rate. And Lucknow Super Giants have ended on 199 for 8. Sure, in the last over, they didn't take a couple of singles. And Krunal.
Just the one signal that.
In the previous also, there was no single. When Johnny Bairstow dropped the catch.
Fair enough for the man in form, for the man who was already 20 balls in, I feel. How many balls?
22.
22 balls in, striking at nearly 200 at that time.
Yeah.
Made sense for you to deny, let's say, a single or two, that to a tail ender, an impact player in Naveen, and just trust yourself to be clearing the boundary. Did happen so, but a very good outing there for Krunal Pandya. I think he may as well be the difference maker over here, even though I feel it's going to be a comfortable victory for the Lucknow Super Giants as I predicted, so I'm not changing my prediction. But if you ask me, and given how, let's go by batter, if there's one batter we can surely say that made things look easy, I don't think there's any one batter over there at all, because all took time. It wasn't easy to get back to ball. The wicket was stopping a bit, the ball was stopping a bit, and that we saw with all batters. Possibly, as Shane suggested, maybe it could do, let's say, something with the ball getting older, maybe that's when it gets easier for you to get back to ball, but otherwise it does look like a very good total, way above par if you ask me on this wicket, which if not too paced, there is something to this wicket.
It's a little on the sluggish side.
A little on the sluggish side, yes. It's slow as well, and they've done a fine job with the bat. Of course, being given a big push there by Krunal Pandya and the captain on the day, the stand-in captain in Nicholas Pooran, both striking at exactly 200, 195, 200 respectively for Krunal and Pooran. Should be. I think they'd be the happier side right now. Even Punjab would be kicking themselves for giving a good 40 odd more runs than they would have thought.
I think the only thing that, see, we saw even in yesterday's match, KKR RCB, a lot of people thought 180 was at least a par total. The problem came when second innings when the dew set in.
Wow.
If the dew sets in, and lest we forget this match is being played in Lucknow, so north of India may still have some.
Maybe at this time with the rising temperatures, do you think dew will be there?
Yeah, that's another thing.
Interestingly, I must add to that, because Shikhar Dhawan at the top.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
He said that we've been here for a couple of days, and yesterday especially there was a lot of dew, so they in fact would have wanted to bowl first.
Correct.
Because they didn't want to bowl in the dew. So it's interesting that LSG, you would like to believe, because of the home side, they know something about this pitch, and they were expecting something or are expecting something that works in their favor, because the visiting side did feel that dew will play a part in this match.
Which means they would have actually been happy to have lost the toss and being asked to bowl anyway.
And put on the score.
Yep. So, if you look at the last 5 overs, it was 53. 53 runs were scored in the last 5 overs. But I have two things here. One, Krunal Pandya has yet again showed that when he's batting in his right position, he's lethal. I mean, last year he was absolutely rotated around. Sometimes he was batting at number 3, sometimes he was batting at number 5. Hardly he batted at number 7. If you remember, he and Deepak Hooda, they both had.
Mostly Hooda was the fall guy. I think he was the one who.
No, there were times where even Pandya, remember, he was the captain.
Yeah.
He would promote himself up the order.
Yes.
It wasn't working. Krunal is best as a lower order slugger. That's why he had his best years even in MI. And now where he's proving his mettle.
And, okay, Punjab Kings. Why didn't they bowl Arshdeep in the final over? You gave it to Harshal Patel, fine, he conceded 10 runs. But Arshdeep getting only 3, and that too is your designated death bowler.
I think the bigger question for Punjab right now is, where was Harpreet Brar in those middle overs?
I think they were afraid because at one point you
Nicholas
had
Pooran, left-hander Quinton
with Quinton. That's why. That's the only thing I can think of.
But again, who bowled instead?
Rahul Chahar.
Rahul
who got
Chahar.
tonked.
Both getting the ball into the left-hander. So I'm just trying to get my head around that.
I
What's
mean,
the thinking?
maybe what they thought was, okay, a wrist spinner with the variations that's there, a left-hander probably might struggle to pick him up, probably. But with the left-arm orthodox, with the less number of variations that you've got, it could be easy to negotiate him. That is probably the reason they fell foul to the matchup today. Because Harpreet Brar, with Quinton there, Quinton fell in the 14th over. There was Nicholas Pooran also. How on earth could you have bowled Harpreet Brar? 2 overs for 14, that was when the right-handers were there. But with Nicky P already teeing off and with Quinton having his eye in, could Punjab have risked a Harpreet Brar? Because what would have happened is instead of 199, Punjab might have easily conceded over 210, 220.
I think this is something you should have done because again, he's a proven guy when it comes to bowling in the middle overs.
Of course.
To choking the runs.
Yes, he's the one who dries up the runs. And yes, it may not be the kind of matchup that you ideally want. But he has the experience, he knows how to bowl in these middle overs and he's got the numbers to back him up as well.
But those numbers are skewed heavily in favour of right-handers. Nicholas Pooran, you see, was
You look
tonking.
at all of last season, Siddharth, he had the best economy bowling in the middle overs. All of last season.
But it would be interesting to see how many bowled to left-handers at that time. That's the thing. Because see, we are all, I mean, even in the previous game, Harpreet Brar was fantastic. He was the guy who kept Punjab Kings in the hunt.
RCB were kept in check thanks to him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done it in the past. But here, look at Nicky P's onslaught in the middle overs. That's why if he comes in at 4 or 5 and it's in the middle overs, the spin bowling plans absolutely go haywire for any opposition. Because he's a brilliant player of spin, Nicholas Pooran.
Which is where Lucknow, if they are to take any learning from this good batting performance, is that this is where you should bat all these batters.
Yeah.
Not any lower than this. In terms of, if you go ahead and promote somebody like a Deepak Hooda or a Badoni and then push the others, somebody like a Stoinis and a Pooran way down the order, it doesn't get the best out of these batters.
Yeah.
What has been said time and time again, that these are players, especially Pooran, you need a Pooran to be facing as many balls as possible, and he comes into the IPL with a lot of form, under his belt.
Lucknow Super Giants, the problem is there are certain components. For example, one component can't fit in here. For example, a Badoni, he had a torrid time at number 6 and he struggled today 8 of 10, 80.
See, that's
unforgivable in that kind of a situation.
See, that's the thing. I think they're not using Badoni well because when Badoni was being at his best,
he was at number 3.
3, 4, nothing higher than that, nothing lower than that. Now, if you're going to be, and to be fair, I understand the rationale. You have a Devdutt, you have a Marcus Stoinis, you've got a Pooran. They need to be in your top 5 somewhere based on permutations, combinations. I would actually drop Ayush Badoni and bring in a Krishnappa Gautam.
Yeah.
Gautam is a far better player, lower down the order, gives you an off-spin option against one too many left-handers.
And can clear the boundary. See,
very easily.
He will not offer you proper batting the way that Badoni does. Badoni is a proper bat, top order bat.
Correct.
That's a Krishnappa Gautam, again, opportunities for him also have been far and few between. But then, if you put him to bat at number 6, 7, 8, either of those positions, let's say, then you're getting something from him over there because he's used to playing in that situation.
Correct.
For Badoni, it's a lot of recalibration that he has to do.
Exactly.
Yeah. See, but then, with Krishnappa Gautam, will he bat at number 6? No.
He can bat
He
7,
can bat
8.
at 6, 7, 8, anywhere.
Because see, Krunal will have to bat at 7 to get the best results.
Yeah, Krunal is best at that position.
If he bats at 6, he's slightly out of position. Then.
Slightly, compared to an Ayush Badoni, who is like a fish out of water at number 6.
That's the thing. So, if you remove one particular, because LSG are like this machine, if you remove one component, the entire machine then collapses.
It's like a game of Jenga.
It is. So that is why somewhere down there, see 199 for 8, this might be a match winning total for them. Might be. But there are issues that they have to address. Every time their issues can't be swept under the carpet if you look at it. There's a number 6 issue, there is a number 3 issue.
There's an opening issue. What has KL Rahul done in his first 2 games?
Nothing.
What about Padikkal?
A 58 and a 15 so far.
See, even with Padikkal, I remain unconvinced, whatever anyone says, that in white ball cricket he should not be opening. Yeah. Everything about the guy screams opener. There is nothing about him that screams middle order bat. Not in white ball cricket. In red ball cricket, there's a good player there in the middle order. But that's also because the demands are different.
And Devdutt is the antithesis. Every time when an RCB batter goes to a different franchise, he prospers even better. This guy is an antithesis. He did well with RCB, but in other franchises he struggled.
But that's also because he was never played in his best position.
Out of position.
At RR, he was always 3 or 4 depending on which of the openers fell. Same problem here.
Which team struggles for an opening combination apart from an LSG? Because we know where he is. Which other team?
KKR.
Yeah,
KKR have tried good.
I remember 22 and 23 were hell years for opening because you'd have 3 different combinations in 3 games.
In fact, I'm forgetting what the start point was, but the time that you had Phil Salt come out to open this season, I remember reading it somewhere that this is their 12th or the 13th new opening pair. I'm just forgetting what the start point was.
I think it was 2022. 2022 itself. Jagdishan, I think, opened in 2022.
That was 23. 2022, Jagdishan was still in CSK. 2022 also you had variety of opening orders because you'd sometimes open with Billings, sometimes Venkatesh, sometimes Narayan.
Wow.
It was a real variety fest. Last year, same problem. Again, last year I thought they were playing Venkatesh Iyer in the middle order because you needed to accommodate one batter to replace Shreyas.
Yeah.
So their opening combination went to hell. Sometimes it was Gurbaz and Roy, which was the later.
Yes.
Then you had Gurbaz and Jagdishan, with one of them playing as a fielder. So it was everything. Then you had Narayan come sometimes, you had Nitish Rana come sometimes. Don't ask, there were one too many opening combinations.
So,
I'm just thankful this year it's settled.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Padikkal, he has not gotten the opportunity which is there as an opener in the franchisee that he could have had.
Exactly.
Now, Rajasthan, how could he displace a Joss Butler and a Yashasvi Jaiswal?
You can't.
How could here, okay, he's batting at number 3 because KL and Quinton are there, but KL...
See, if it continues this way, he'd want a new destination next year as well.
For sure.
Absolutely. See, he's going to feel, as a batter, he's going to feel suffocated. He's been, just journeying around from one city to the other, one franchise to the other, and it's turning out of this year. And these numbers are going to be damning for his career. This way, the man doesn't get into or anyway close to knocking on the door as far as the T20 side is concerned. And Shivam wants to say something.
GT is the perfect team for him.
GT is the perfect team
Shubman
because
and Ridhiman
Saha
he
is
might
going to be phasing out now slowly.
Yeah.
I was in fact thinking, why not Delhi also?
Imagine Gill and Padikkal left and right hand combination.
Would actually work well.
Yes, Gill and Padikkal.
Okay, Delhi Capitals, Warner and Padikkal.
I'm just thinking, would Warner in fact also be a part of the bigger scheme of things now? We know he's already taken retirement. Yes, he made himself available for CT25, but given his form, everything, I'm not too sure if you're wanting an aged player like Warner to be there as one of the retained players now.
Not a chance.
The problem is in LSG, as I said, their best player is unfortunately a cursed player also, if you look at KL Rahul. If any decision he takes, opening, if you look at his opening stats, batting first in the IPL, power play, his strike rate is 109.
That is terrible.
Are you serious?
Yes, I've done the video. 109 is his power play strike rate in his IPL career.
This guy's an opener, lest we forget.
But his average is exceptional.
Who cares
48.
about average?
48.
You don't want average in T20 cricket A, and definitely not in the power plays.
Imagine against finger spinners, his strike rate is 114. But his average is a staggering 175 against them.
Oh, by the way, very interesting.
Manimaran Siddharth, yes, he does open.
Very interesting.
He does open the bowling in the TNPL. Yes,
Oh.
yes. So, left arm orthodox. So, you've got 2 left arm orthodox, right?
Yes, him and Krunal Pandya.
Krunal, yeah. And
So, when
Naveen
they're
is-
starting a left arm orthodox against Shikhar Dhawan?
Dhawan's not a Nicky P or Quinton.
No, but still, it's not an
He's a
ideal
4-hitter.
matchup.
He's a 4-hitter.
But in the power play, you've got to be a little
also-
circumspect.
Dhawan is a Delhi player, yeah. They're born and bred on spin bowlers, on
Absolutely.
this turgid pitch you get here. Not the best of ideas, I don't know.
Let's see, it should work. I mean, I hope it's not a Sunny Gupta moment of 2012. I mean, that
Anyway, first ball coming up. Sorry we couldn't take your questions, but we definitely want to address all of them in the post-match coverage as we always bring to you. So catch you when the match ends. We'll take your leave. Enjoy the action. 200 exactly needed for Punjab to chase down to be able to get this.
I'm not changing my prediction. I have a funny
Second
feeling
win of the
PBKS are
season.
getting
PBKS
it.
are winning it. Yeah, same here. I'm also not changing it.
Both of you went for PBKS.
We
Yes.
went for PBKS. I will go for
maintain-
LSG.
yes,
yeah.
I maintain.
Although, see, 80% LSG.
Comfortable total?
Thank you so much. Yes.
See, although, see, 80% LSG are on top.
Oh, yeah.
There's no denying that at all. But yes, Manivaran Siddharth getting good drift and spin.
Yeah, the drift was something to watch here.
Yeah. I mean, he's a pretty
Seems
good
to be
bowler.
some sort of a hold up there. But anyhow, we'll see you guys at the end of the match. Bye bye.
Yep. Bye bye.